it's something, even in my swing, that I have to work on a lot. It's because I just get this sensation so often that I'm rushing the downswing, right? And I get to the top and I'm trying to like get up there and smash it as hard as I can. But before I know it, I've started it with my shoulders opening, right? My arms are left behind. So what I'm trying to do is get to the top, feel that my arms are falling, they're dropping, putting them into a position. Then I can simply just pivot through and hit a shot that looks exactly like that for a full swing without thinking, right?
Yeah.
Do you see that a lot?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I think with the golf swing, the way I like to kind of put it across is that you're always trying to create time and space for the golf club, the hands, the arms to kind of fall into. And if you don't create that time and space, your hands, the arms, the club is going to find it. You know, so you kind of see that a lot with, you know, your traditional guys that might come over the top. They might not have turned open enough in the backswing, created any depth. So the only space is then out in front of them. And funnily enough, that's where the arms and the club tend to go. So then, you know, a lot of people think, well, if you just say time and space, it'll drive the body that way. But all of a sudden, you know, there's still not actually any real space that's being created.
Yeah, they get themselves into this position
Exactly. Here. Yeah, exactly. So there's, you know, you can see how narrow and tight that becomes. So a nice way for, I think it was Justin Rose who released a video on it. And you see him going up to the top, and he does this kind of pump drill where he works down in there, very similar to what you were doing at the start. And he used the analogy of, if you're, imagine a speedboat and it's kind of towing a rubber ring. And you're in the speedboat and it's going along the lake, the speedboat turns and the rubber ring goes flying out the back of it. And if you take that as in the speedboat's your body, your hands and arms, say, is a rubber ring. So as soon as you then fire that upper body, you know, that's that speedboat turning, the rubber ring being the hands and the arms, they end up working way out in front of you. You know, and you can get yourself in all sorts of trouble.
We don't want that at all.
No. So then we wanted to try and create that space. So as you work your way up to the top of the backswing, we're then, say, you know, you've touched on in the past that right shoulder back to the target. If you're then trying to, say, maintain that as you shift into the downswing, you can see now you're creating loads of space for the arms to work into there.
So players aren't getting up to the top here and then literally just dropping them down.
No.
They're still making a transition move. So you can still see that I'm recentering back towards the target. I'm shifting that pressure down in the lead foot. But those arms are getting lower. The hands are getting more in front of my body by that stage.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So as I do that, anything else that you would detail for the players?
Yeah, so as you go, if you go up to the top again, you know, another one that you often see people doing as they go forward and they think, well, I need to create some sort of lag, and they end up holding on to this club for a long, long time.
We see a lot of this.
Yeah, now we're going to struggle to really control that club face, especially as the club gets longer.
Yeah, and then we're going to see that as a reaction to that. So don't try and drag the arms back in front of the body.
Exactly. So as you go to the top, and like you touched on, you know, you still have a transition, you still shift left, and you're almost then trying to actually get the club head throwing about a foot behind your back foot. Then from there, it's as if your body gathers it in the rotation, in the extension, through to finish.
And I love that. And I think this is probably one of the biggest misconceptions that isn't drilled into golfers enough, is this concept of lag and casting.
Yeah.
I think casting, how many times I've had online lessons with students and saying, look, casting is not what you think. Casting is an effect to the hands being out of sequence to the body. And by you trying to then drag the hands in front of the body, what happens is that is only really going to encourage the lead shoulder to get up, the body to fire, and the arms still get too far behind. Whereas if you have the intention of almost feeling like you're casting it, well, to be honest, feel like you're casting it, but keeping your back to the target, guess what happens in space? The hands get low.
Yeah.
We did a video just before around how to keep the hands low in the backswing, which is very important. So go and check that one out. But in the downswing, the difference between a professional and amateur can be boiled down to this position versus this position.
Yeah.
Look how much I have to work my hands and arms and body and contort it into all sort of funky positions to make contact when my arms are here, versus keeping the game simple in front of the right leg within reason, back to the ball.
Yeah.
So when I set up to this ball, and I'm going to go about and chip this one down here, mate, and I'm really working on getting that feeling, bringing those arms down, hands in front, and you can almost do that. Feel like the back of the right shoulder stays facing the target, the back arm lengthens down in front of the right leg. From there, a little bit of a pump, and you'll be so surprised like how good the contact can be from the feeling of casting it, which is certainly something that if you are getting yourself into a position where you are artificially dragging it back in front of your body, you do want to do this.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. I think a big thing for, you know, from you demoing that there is when I'm looking at it here, yes, your arms are coming down, you had that sensation of casting, but the body is still transitioning to the left.
Yeah.
As say, you know, it's not the upper body dragging or anything, you know, you're maintaining the width in the downswing, but there's a difference between hanging back and maintaining the width as you shift into that lead side from there.
Yeah, perfect. So great little feeling that you can get, which just really helps groove in that downswing.
Thanks for watching this video. YouTube thinks that you would benefit from watching this one next. So click that card and it could be the tip that you need to take your game to the next level. I'll see you next time.